You've tuned into the Loss Prevention News Network. I'm Amber Bradley with
Co-MC Joe LaRocca.
at LaRocca J.
At LaRocca J.
So I've got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
I know it's serious this time.
here we
We're getting
go.
a little serious. So you travel the country. You talk to lots of loss prevention executives as well as solution providers. And we were just talking off camera about one of the most common questions you get, which is NRF is a phenomenal show and conference, and everybody wants to present. How do they get on that agenda? What advice would you give?
Well, I think the first is you have to be willing to make a play to get a session slot, have an engaging topic, something that you're interested in, knowledgeable about, passionate about. The answer is really different. If you're a retailer, there's an online submission form. You can submit directly on a topic that maybe your company is doing or where you think you might be leading the industry. If you're a solution provider, it's slightly different. You can submit a topic directly, but just having the experience and some inside information. Definitely no commercials.
No commercials.
And it's
Don't
always,
even try it.
No.
No, why?
You're wasting the submission opportunity.
Yes.
You're better off finding a retailer, one of your customers, somebody that you've worked with, that will stand by with you and do the session alongside you.
It's a little third-party validation.
And maybe have the retailer submit it, and you add the...
A better idea.
That's right. And I think those types of things always really make the submission more noteworthy for the people that review it.
Yep, agreed. I think when people are coming to a conference, they're looking down the agenda. And, you know, retailers know what I'm talking about. You see a solution provider on the agenda, and it's their first thought might be, it may be a sales pitch.
Right.
But no conference wants sales
Yeah.
pitches. You guys
Yeah.
want to come and learn, and NRF's done a good job about
Right.
that.
As a solution provider, what I've said to a number of different companies, that the retailers understand and are keenly aware of what's currently in the market today. And so on the field at a conference like this, it's really the competitive shopping, right? Is company A better than company B? Or we're looking for this particular type of solution within the organization. But I think what many retailers are looking for from sessions, where are you taking the technology next? Where are you headed in the future? We don't necessarily need to hear from a salesperson as much as somebody from the R&D department saying, here's what we do today, but here's where our company is headed, and here's why we are your long-term partner going forward.
Which will help retailers really plan for the future. Also, budget-wise, if
That's
they're
right.
thinking about years out instead of just what's in front of them.
That's right.
Yeah, good
Exactly.
advice.
And then behind the scenes, sort of, how the sausage is made. Once a submission goes into any of the conferences, there's a committee made up of usually retail leaders and some solution providers that are reviewing the submission, and they're looking for a few things, right? Is this different? How does this fit into the overall theme of the conference?
Educational.
Are the speakers someone who will get us a 5-star rating at the end of this session, right? And then also, where will this slide into the overall mix of whether it's technology, developing your people, solving a crime issue? What value will attendees take back, and what level the session's directed at? A leadership session, you need to have somebody that's been in a leadership role that really can talk the talk and walk the walk. If it's a session that's appealing to the general masses, that's fine, but then don't walk in and say, this is how you're going to run the corporate office when you're really delivering a session that's geared towards field investigators or even law enforcement professionals. So make the submission really count, then follow up on it, and know the deadlines.
Yes.
The deadlines for these conferences, as you know, are
They come up
months
quick.
in advance. Right. You might as well start thinking about your submission for
Next
for
year,
NRF
right
and
now.
RELA right
That's
now.
right.
Because the due dates will be right around the corner, and you want to be one of the first in line. This is where it really counts.
Well, and the bottom line, too, is think about your audience. What do they want to hear? What are they going to walk away with walking out that door? Do they have 3, 5 actionable things they can take back to their company immediately and implement?
That's right. And, I think the other thing, and this is really a compliment to you, Amber, that
I love compliments.
A lot of, I knew you would like this. A lot of companies have great products, but they don't necessarily know how to frame that up for the retailers or for their, in a very competitive landscape. And I think you've done a really great job of taking your customers and saying, look, here are the key offerings, and here are there must-see solution providers because, and you frame
Right.
that up for them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Calibration works hard on understanding the retail perspective when we actually have retail executives
That's right.
within the company, which is always nice.
Engaged individuals.
That's right.
So, and you should always follow Amber at My Calibration.
Yes, for marketing advice for sure.
Definitely. And then, so one other thing I just thought of, the other place that I think is really important, a lot of service providers will walk into a discussion and say, well, I need to be on the agenda because, and sometimes it's not always about a speaking slot. It might be a booth and where your booth is positioned. It might be the way that you are engaging retailers at an event. And I know in all of the associations, there's a number of different ways, whether it's advertising in their book or the banners or the key cards for your hotel room.
That's right.
Or some other way. Here's the tip though, social media is free.
Yes.
So
Social media is free and powerful.
And powerful. The
As we
service
have a session
providers-
coming up to talk
so
about
when you
social
check
media.
the social feed, if you look at the NRF app right now, and you go on and you see social, the ones that are appearing in their social media tab are hashtag NRF Protect. So you have to know something like that.
Yep.
Follow the NRF. They give you lots of great advice for how do you get plugged into their overall program. And the other conferences do the exact same thing. But that's free. That just takes somebody to really pay attention. Snap a few photos of your booth.
Or a genius marketing person.
Or a genius
Either
marketing
one.
person, whatever. But seriously, really take advantage of all of that, because when you start seeing the same name over and over and over again, somebody might say, oh, hey, I know that Checkpoint's over in booth 601. I'm going to go over there and visit. And of course, if you're here at the conference, the D&D Fast Break Sessions, you can always become a sponsor. Checkpoint, in fact, will be here a little later
That's
today.
right. That's
So
right.
It's all good.
Yes, we have a phenomenal agenda for you, including social media and how retailers can leverage social media since it's free.
There you go.
And in understanding even possibly predicting, maybe not predicting, but at least being aware of potential incidents if they're monitoring their hashtags on social media,
Right.
or or their own Twitter handle. I mean, all of this is very important to stay engaged in social media. We do have a session coming up on that, which will be awesome.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that law enforcement professionals, if you have a hot topic you'd like to raise, please submit that. Please submit that as a session. Please partner with the retailer. Feel free to contact Amber or I about speaking at one of these events. In fact, one of the sessions later today, we have Captain John Romero from the LAPD Commercials Crimes Division.
Is this the one you're moderating?
This is the one I'm moderating.
Oh, plug.
Yep, you bet. We have Detective Joe Hopkins from LAPD.
No, it's going to be awesome.
Lieutenant Jim Ostachek from Polk County Sheriff's Office in Florida.
He's a
And then-
common guest with us. I
That's
think
right.
I think he's like an
He's
old
he's
friend.
a regular.
It's
right?
going to be
He's a
Old
regular.
Home Week.
And we're doing something different. We actually have a retailer on the panel too. It's Pete Zeta with Estee Lauder Companies. And Pete has spent 30 years in law enforcement with the
Wow.
San Diego Police Department. And he's been now in retail for 5 years. So he's going to bring that translation from a career law enforcement person, and how does he really translate the experience over into retail, and how do we connect with these groups now across the country?
So if you don't know by now, you have tuned into the industry's only digital fast break conference, which is very cool. Watch it online, which you're doing right now, which is awesome, live, or you're watching it later, clicking on our little play button in the D&D. That's cool too. We'd love you. We're throwing some love to you as well.
And Amber and I are always here to
Keep it fun.
humor you, keep it fun, and
Our hashtag screen. We haven't really talked about the hashtag screen
we
coming
need
up.
to really
I know.
talk about
I
that.
know.
Okay, so here's the deal with the hashtag screen. So we have our teleprompter on one side telling us what's going on, and our hashtag screen with the hashtag is LPNN. Okay,
And there's all these tweets coming in about what people want to talk about,
Right,
which
so-
is super cool.
so-
So we appreciate you being super engaged.
That's right.
We
So
could
if
be
you
trending.
if you tweet to @LaRoccaJ or @MyCalibration, is there another one?
No.
D&D? Somebody
Yeah.
monitoring
Oh,
the
yeah.
D&D?
At D and D.
D and
spelled
all
out.
spelled out.
Yes, spelled out.
D&D Daily.
That's right.
Submit your questions or your comments. If they're, a little...
Send the compliments
Send
in.
the compliments,
Okay, let's
right?
just get right down to it. I'd like some compliments on our hashtag
Right.
screen. We've had a couple. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe some constructive criticism. I'm kind of into
Always
that.
good to
Yeah. But the
constructive.
hater's going to hate.
Right.
So
if you're
gonna
gonna hate,
don't
just blow
bother.
up my
Not
phone.
worried about
Just
ya.
text me directly.
Not worried about you.
Right. Right. We're going to use one of these acronyms that Amber's going to run through.
That's right. Wait, I've
later
got one.
Today. Okay,
Oh,
give me
later today?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so Amber, if you have to tune in later today, and if you're at home, this will be a different segment. But we're going to take you through some of the top acronyms.
Top 50.
Testing, top 50.
Top 50
50
used.
of them.
Okay, we're not going to do all 50 because some of them are not clean since it's a family show.
FWIW. What's up with that? For what it's worth, what's up with that?
Oh, well, there's a lot. So, there's
What did
we're also,
that rank, by the way? I want to know. There
What's up
it is.
with that?
It's number 12.
Yes, that's not bad. But
Wait,
what's
there's a few on
interesting?
here. Is that we can't say that on air.
No, I know.
That's not even-
I know. However,
Okay, wait.
you're for what?
We are going to hold on. I think we need to have like a cable pay channel that totally separate that you could.
You're
tune
on your
into.
own with
Right.
this. I'm stepping out of the screen. I don't know what he's talking about, Mom.
That went the wrong direction really quick. You know what? Forget I said all that, honey. Disregard. We didn't talk about any
I
of
think
that.
they'll edit that out, which is cool.
That's right.
why I'm being live now. You know what's interesting, though? I do have a list of texting acronyms that parents just don't understand. Being a parent myself, although my kid's not texting yet, thank God, I think we should do our PSA is going to be, that's not a texting acronym, millennials, it's a public service announcement. But we're going to educate
They're like,
parents,
"What's that?"
which is all of you probably, on these acronyms these teens are using. Geez, kids. These
Seriously,
kids.
right?
Yeah, we're going to tell them. You know what's interesting?
And it's it's not just kids though.
I know. I know.
I have some, older friends that try to put in the acronyms.
Yeah.
And oh man, you're like you're like deciphering Greek code from some of these text messages.
Well, what's interesting
Horrible.
too is these texting acronyms that could be taken two ways. Those are weird, right? So BTW, what do you think that stands for?
By the way,
Yes, or bring the wheelchair.
bring the wheelchair.
That's on
Okay.
there. I don't understand that.
Well,
So if someone texts me BTW, I'm going to bring a wheelchair.
Right.
Or maybe it's by the way.
So BTW today
Yeah.
is something different for me than BTW in like 5 years.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it 5 years from now? You're
I
gonna
don't
need a
know.
Well, you did
Hey, man.
win the Ring of Excellence. So does that
Thank
mean
you.
you're closer to the wheelchair than not?
No.
We're going to keep on that topic, folks. Don't worry about it, because my Ring of Excellence counter just went up one, because we're on that all day today.
Yeah.
But for now,
Thank you for that.
you're welcome. Congratulations. We're going to send it back to Gus Downing.